You're listening to Clinical Conversations, a Journal Watch podcast. It's for the week ending January 8, 2010. It's podcast number 69. It's a new year, and I hope it's a good one for you. I'm Joe Elia. Just before I disappeared into vacation land, I did an interview on soy food consumption and breast cancer survival, and that's this week's offering. First, this review of recent important clinical news stories. If you're a registered user of Journal Watch, be sure to look at the Journal Watch website for a review of the top stories of 2009. That's www.jwatch.org. There's a reminder this week that patients starting atypical antipsychotics should be getting their glucose and lipid levels monitored. Currently, fewer than 20% of patients starting the drugs get this monitoring. Given the warning on the drug labels, that number should be much higher. The study appears in the current archives of general psychiatry. Next, from the New England Journal of Medicine come two pieces of research about presurgical preparation. The bottom line is that you should be using chlorhexidine alcohol instead of povidone iodine scrub. The chlorhexidine alcohol scrub reduces surgical site infections by almost half. Next, a high-dose seasonal influenza shot has been approved for people 65 and older. It contains 4 times the amount of antigenic kick as the regular dose. Common side effects like redness were more common, as you might expect, but serious adverse events were no more frequent. The vaccine was fast-tracked, so the manufacturer has to conduct studies to confirm that the added kick produces added protection in this vulnerable age group. If you see patients who use cocaine, be on the lookout for agranulocytosis. An article in MMWR last month described a score of cases in the U.S. that were linked to levamisole contamination of cocaine. An editorial note says that the DEA found levamisole in over 2/3 of the cocaine seized over the summer. 1 patient died and the rest made full recoveries, at least of their cellular immunity. Both powdered and crack forms of the drug were implicated. That's the major news. Let's go on to the interview now. You're listening to Clinical Conversations. JAMA has an intriguing article on soy food consumption and survival after breast cancer. An analysis of over 5,000 breast cancer survivors in Shanghai finds that women who survive breast cancer's first 6 months and who eat higher amounts of soy food have a higher survival and lower recurrence than those who eat small amounts of soy. The paper's first author, Dr. Xiao Su, has agreed to discuss her work with us. Dr. Su is a professor of medicine at Vanderbilt University Medical Center. Welcome, Dr. Su.
Thank you.
There seems to be 2 schools of thought about soy and breast cancer. One says that soy isoflavones have a protective effect against breast cancer, and another says that isoflavones have this estrogenic effect that may lead to recurrence. Is that a fair?
Yeah, those data are primarily based on the laboratory research, and very few human data are available to decide or to assess whether this isoflavone is beneficial or detrimental among breast cancer patients. Mm-hmm. And that's the main question our study was designed to answer.
So you set out to decide which one is correct then, right?
Yes, exactly.
And do you think that your study succeeded in sorting out the answer?
Yes, we found that women consume higher amount of soy food had a more favorable outcome than those consume low amount of soy food. In that sense, we can conclude that soy is safe for breast cancer patients and could potentially beneficial.
Did you find that it was safe even regardless of estrogen receptor status?
Yeah, in our study, we see this beneficial effect was for both women with ER-positive breast cancer and ER-negative breast cancer.
Mm-hmm. It struck me, you said that in women on tamoxifen benefited women most among those who had the least amount of soy. Is that right?
You probably know that both tamoxifen and the soy isoflavone bind to estrogen receptors, and in that sense they are have a similar mechanism in human body. So they have a just give an example. If you have the same amount of estrogen receptors, if you have some of the receptors will be bound by your body estrogen, and some of them will be bound by tamoxifen, some of them will be bound by soy isoflavone. So in the lower amount of soy, so there are some left estrogen receptor there. So when you have tamoxifen in this group of people, certainly you will see effect. But sometimes this estrogen receptor could be saturated. So if a woman take a high dose of tamoxifen, there won't be much of a receptor left for soy, or vice versa. So that's also what our hypothesis, although we cannot prove this is true, but this our observation suggests that tamoxifen and soy isoflavone probably kind of like doing the same thing in the body.
Well, they're attaching to the same receptor, but
yes.
You would say that would you caution women on tamoxifen to not to eat too much soy so that the tamoxifen receptors won't be blocked?
No, not necessary.
Mm-hmm.
In our study, as we state in the paper, we saw soy was beneficial for women who take it and not taking tamoxifen. Soy contains more than one anti-cancer components there. So soy isoflavone, or binding to estrogen receptor, is only one of the mechanisms that soy food probably can help women to better the cancer recurrence or reduce risk. So in our study, we found this effect. Actually, we found a little bit stronger effect for soy than, we should not say stronger, similar effect of soy food intake and the tamoxifen use. And for the people, women, they use tamoxifen, you still see a beneficial of taking soy food, which means it does not, at least not compromise the effect of tamoxifen in that sense. So women, if they already taken tamoxifen, based on our study, we don't think they should worry about taking soy food.
Okay, all right. Thank you for clarifying that for me. You did your study in a Chinese cohort, and you say that you say that you did that because there isn't enough soy consumption in the United States to get a large range of intake. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Now, do you think that will change as people start doing things like using soy milk or having tofu?
Yeah, actually, this change of soy consumption is already in the United States. Over the last 10 to 20 years, we have seen many more Americans eat soy food, but certainly it's not at a level that Asian eats. So, but there are also other advantages to study this kind of issue in China, because most Chinese they eat soy food from natural food, and this is kind of it's a dietary habit they have. It's so, but in U.S. The people they eat a lot of soy tends to be more from highly educated group of people. They are more health conscious. So in that sense, they are more selective group of people. And also in the United States, soy products, soy isoflavone, soy powders have been added to food. So a lot of people probably had a soy food that they don't know. Mm-hmm. So it makes research is much more difficult, because we in epidemiologic study we often rely on patients to tell us whether they have had soy food or how much they eat. But if you eat without knowing it, make it very difficult for us to get some right estimate amount of people eating. So this the methodology challenge to study this type of exposure, soy food intake and disease outcome in U.S. population.
Is your study continuing in Shanghai?
Yeah, we are continue following this group of patients, and you probably saw the commentary for this our paper. The overall follow-up period for our study is only 4 years, and so we really don't know in long run whether the patient eat a lot of soy food to do better than those eat less food. In short term, they do better. So we hope we can follow up this group of patients for longer years. We already have money to follow them up to 5 years post-diagnosis, and this is funded by National Cancer Institute. So we hope we can continue study this group of women and provide a complete assessment for the soy food effect on survivors.
Okay. So the bottom line is that it's okay for women who have survived the first 6 months of breast cancer to be eating soy foods, a lot of them, and it may have an effect on survival, although you can't quite tell yet. It seems to.
We are talking about it's not a very high level of soy food. It's more kind of a moderate amount of soy food. And, in fact, in our study, we found that soy food, the association between soy food intake and the mortality and the relapse follows those response relationship in the lower and moderate height group, the amount. Once the soy food reaches to certain levels, such in our study, we found it's about 11 grams of soy protein. And at that time, the further increase of intake, it did not confer additional benefit.
I see. So the effect.
You don't really need to eat a lot of soy to achieve this kind of beneficial effect.
All right.
This is good news for the survivors. If someone don't like the taste of soy food, no, you don't really need to stretch that much. Eat like tofu every day or something, a large amount.
Okay. All right, Dr. Su, I want to thank you for your time with us today, and I look forward to hearing more about this research as you continue your follow-up.
You're very welcome. Could I add one comment on this?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we would like to emphasize our study is study the whole food, the soy food, and we did not study the soy isolate from the tablet supplement.
Mm-hmm.
So I think based on current our study, we really cannot recommend women to take the supplement.
Okay.
I think it's safe for them to eat soy food. That's not necessarily safe for them to eat supplement. We just don't have the data. We cannot make this recommendation.
All right.
I thought the women probably want to know this.
I will put that into the interview.
Okay.
And thank you again.
Well, thank you.
You can reach Clinical Conversations at 1-617-440-4374, or you can write to me, JELIA@jwatch.org. All earlier podcasts are all available at podcasts.jwatch.org, where links for all news stories can also be found. Clinical Conversations executive producer is Doriano. I'm Joe Elia. Join us next time. Thank you for listening.